flabbergasted and gobsmacked, to be honest, about what I'd seen on the web about Florence's situation and the complete travesty of justice that's happened, and the huge campaign that is being held to try and free Florence. And you know, your heart goes out to her because it's just been in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong person possibly, and it could be me or you or our brothers or our sisters or anybody we know. Go agree on dinner, and all that clear the hain. It's all the O Husama by Shalin Gajeda Ray. Look away, Suller Bond and down to Frave na Bahane. Yarshanuas Feloga and Elk Yashki and Gear. Dain Shettinus the Darkadus of her Glasser Funar Green. And Cruach Galoi Nahitina Bashiri. Chinsha Kush Ishki na Babylonia. This Nuravian Dolphus gone. Skriakshe as Corp Repi and he cased a crown.
Nous avons exprimé à plusieurs reprises au gouvernement mexicain notre préoccupation au regard des conditions dans lesquelles Madame Cassez a été arrêtée et dans lesquelles l'instruction et les deux procès de première instance et en appel ont eu lieu.
Le message que l'on doit passer, c'est dire effectivement nous sommes déterminés, la France est déterminée et les autorités françaises n'ont jamais lâché Florence Cassez, présidente de la République, dans les témoignages.
Poetry is my life. But at the age of 53, I think most poets of my vintage probably get this feeling. Poetry seems a doomed pursuit. It seems utterly useless.
The black plastic sacks huddled together on the overhead rack like an act of defiance against the designer-labelled suitcase and bags. We had boarded the Amtrak at Amherst, Massachusetts. Already the carriage was almost full with middle class, white women who shouted to each other how great this vacation was going to be.
This is about the Guantanamo prisoners. I mean, prison is a terrible thing anyway. I mean, prison is a crazy idea anyway, I think. You know, unless someone is, really is actively dangerous. It's the least best way of dealing with someone who does something wrong. And very rarely does anything for the people who've been on the receiving end. And there's 400 people in prison who haven't paid their TV licenses. It's crazy. And then if you're innocent as well, of course. Anyway, so I wrote this just when I first was in London in the Tate Modern, and I first came across this magazine which had these poems by inmates of Guantanamo at the time. This is several years ago, and I was amazed that actually these people were writing poems and they were being published. And then I read on further in the article, and it said that these poems were published, but they were heavily censored. And for instance, you weren't allowed to directly address your poem to anyone in particular. For example, in case it was subversive or whatever. And so anyway, that just got me going. And it's a poem, I suppose, in support of the Guantanamo prisoners, but it's also about how one's voice is marginalized or taken away or whatever. Keeping terrorists at bay. The Guantanamo inmates are writing poems. Why not? Guests also enjoy cricket, baseball, and Irish dancing. Putting it all down with sharpened pencils, making marks you can see on paper that does not lie. Despite all the free time, the scribbling is frenzied. Some detainees compose automatically.
The Council of the Wise has spoken. The women are back where they belong. No black veils fluttering, fists shaking, dreams of revolution. The traffic hums on the roundabout now, even the parallel is gone. The men stood behind them and the regime parked in front of them. Something to tell our daughters, the women promise each other, but this state does not recognize the rights of women. In Tahrir Square, the chanting quiets. The men are in charge now. The women talk and haggle over the day's best price for tea and coffee. Behind the veils, neither frown nor smile. This state does not recognize the rights of women. Starbucks and Mothercare throw open their gilded doors, and the Crown Prince is in Downing Street, pleading to be understood. Jailed for a verse, a young poet rhymes her fate. Not raped, only tortured this time, her mother is thankful. She confesses under their guns, this enemy of the people. These guns do not recognize the rights of women.